Good Monday afternoon to you. Welcome to the Jon Sanchez Show on News Talk 780 KOH. It's a pleasure to be with you. Hope you've had a great Monday. And it's a great pleasure to be with my brother, Dr. Dennis Sanchez, the AI doctor. Happy Monday, bro.
How are you doing, bro?
I'm doing fantastic.
Is it still sunny, beautiful in California, where
always,
it's
always. Yeah.
cold, rainy, windy in
And
Georgia?
that's why those of us live on the West Coast versus the East Coast. Absolutely. All right. Well, let me tell you, we've given Jason the afternoon off because we have a lot of things that we're going to talk about, and I want to be able to focus really nicely with with Dennis on today's topic. Obviously, it's Monday, so that's why we have the doctor on, because we always focus on an AI topic. The solo AI or AI solopreneur. I always like to put the AI
I
first.
know it's hard.
The AI solopreneur. We've covered a lot of great things. If you missed any of it in the past, please pick up our podcast at iTunes or Spotify. Of course, the video on Yahoo. Why do I want to say Yahoo? Geez, video on YouTube. There we go. Get it all out there. But today, let me tell you what we have lined up for you. So, Dennis came across a really interesting study that was done just this year by the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. It found that 58% of small businesses are using generative AI. Nearly 30 million solopreneurs are bringing in, listen to this number, folks, $1.7 trillion already into the U.S. economy. Question is, are you going to be one of these? Are you going to sit back and let it go, pass you up? Or is this going to be the case where you're going to get involved in this? Unfortunately, here's another result of AI. Amazon today, corporate office, don't want to be one of those employees. They got a notice today, 30,000 of them are going to be losing their jobs in the corporate space. That's 10% of the corporate jobs. Now, they didn't come out and say specifically because of AI, but I think, Dennis, we probably can assume that number there. So today, what we're going to be focusing on with Dennis is we're going to explore the risks and the rewards of being an AI solopreneur, right? Nothing is perfect. Everything requires work. Everything requires you taking a bit of risk and believing in yourself. But through, all of our teachings each and every Monday on this subject, we hope to make it a lot easier for you and dramatically increase your odds of success. That is our goal. But in addition to that, before we even get started on that side of it, and again, I want to do this before we go through the stock market recap. I'm very proud to say that my brother has authored his first ebook, and we are fortunate enough here on the Jon Sanchez Show he's going to be giving away the entire ebook. So, bro, with that said, tell us what this great book, The Rise of the Solopreneur, is all about.
Well, thank you so much for one thing. This is Rise of the Solopreneur is part of a 3-book series, being the first one. And it's really a comprehensive guide for anyone who's interested in becoming a AI solopreneur. Not only are we going to get into the technological side, the tools that AI solopreneurs are using, but also, the right stuff that it takes to go to work every day when you're working by yourself, having those self-talks, all that kind of stuff, but all together for a very comprehensive view of what an AI solopreneur is, using lots of stories of people that are successful doing it.
Right. And it does. Obviously, many of you started your businesses as a solo entrepreneur. Now it's a solopreneur because we have AI. There's a great article that's on Yahoo, and it's titled "Nearly 30 million solopreneurs bring in 1.7 million for the U.S. economy, with many leaning on the one thing to punch above their weight. But what are the risks?" And in this article that Dennis provided, and if you want to just, let us know, send me an email at jon@sanchezgot.com. It talks about, Dennis, again, one reference from an employee, a banker with the U.S. Small Business Administration, right? Where many businesses go to get a loan, right? There's great loan programs available through the USBA. And he even said the same thing. He goes, you can literally write, as we have said over and over again on this program, you literally can write a business plan in 10 minutes using AI that is good enough for the USBA, Small Business Administration, to get the loan process going. Isn't that incredible? I mean, here you hear it right from them.
Well, that's the example of the game changer. AI is the game changer. It's changing everything. It's leveling the playing field. And when we say, punching above your weight, that means you got a lot more power and strength and capability than you ever had before.
Right. Right. And then the article goes on to talk about some solopreneurs. And again, this one lady said, look at, I've got, and this, again, we have said this many times on this program. I've got a whole army of people working for me, but with no payroll, right? She's using AI agents to answer her phones and to send emails and to do marketing and on and on and on. And she goes, basically, this is the greatest thing in the world. And this is why we spend this time every Monday talking about AI and how it can just open up the doors for so many of you that want to enter the world of entrepreneurship, or as we call it now, solopreneurship.
There's one more relevant point I read today that kind of fits in. It's a little bit different, and is a bunch of leaders have started saying that they value AI literacy now and younger workers more than the degree. So things are shifting. So you've got that AI literacy being so important. You've got layoffs, and then you have this group that's emerging, the solopreneurs, that are really gaining ground every day. Where's the trend? It's with the AI solopreneurs.
Absolutely. Yeah, we had another round of layoffs announced by Meta last week. It was funny. They, not funny for the people involved, but funny from the standpoint they laid off, or actually fired, didn't even lay off, 600 people in their AI lab, basically, that were working on AI, right? Because again, they're trying to bring down payroll. They're like, okay, you've done a great job, thank you very much, and we don't need you anymore, right? And so even again, not funny by any means for those people that lost their jobs. They were trying to move them all into other parts of the company, but just in that department alone, you see the impact of AI and unfortunately the job loss for many. So all you government employees that are not working right now, listen up, because again, and literally by 5 o'clock today, you can have a business up and running. Literally by 5 o'clock today. Yep. But again, we're going to go through this topic again: the risk and the rewards of being an AI solopreneur. But Dennis, let's talk about your book one more time before I get into the stock market side of things. This is a great book. Normally, it's going to retail for $12.95, but you have made an incredible offer to the listeners of the Jon Sanchez Show that you're going to give it away to them for free. How do they get it? Let's start getting the emails rolling now with the beginning of the show.
Great, thank you so much. The first thing I do want to remind everybody is that you don't need a technical background and you don't have to have business experience to be successful in this space. Very, very easy to get the book. If you just go to my website, which is performai.ai, that's PERFORM AI.ai, you're going to see the opportunity to just ask for some information, and right on that form, you're going to see a drop down that says, "Where did you hear about us?" And there is a special box just for Jon Sanchez listeners right there. You click it, I know who you are, and I'll send it to you for free.
I love it. I love it. Once again, that address to get the incredible new book, performai.ai. Pretty simple. All right, bro. Well, I can't wait to get into this topic. Let me get the stock market side of things out of the way, because I've been waiting to tell everybody about this side of it also. It's an incredible way to start the week. Friday, folks, we had a lot of momentum. We set a record for the Dow, the NASDAQ, and the S&P. And many times, of course, when you hit these records, they don't hold you back down the next few days or so. That didn't happen at all. We had some very good news that happened over the weekend that really enticed investors. And that good news was this: the president announced that he and President Xi, of course, the president of China, have agreed to a trade deal framework that's going to avoid the additional 100% tariffs on Chinese imports. And both presidents said they're going to finalize the deal this Thursday. Of course, the president is traveling through Asia right now, doing different types of deals. And so that was according to the Washington Post. The White House, from what I've seen, has confirmed that. So that was one of the major catalysts of the market today. Second one, you had Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent telling CBS News yesterday morning that he expects the deal to include a substantial purchase of U.S. soybeans, which of course is a great news. Hopefully it's not too late for the U.S. farmer, but I think some may be saying that. And also a delay in the rare earth export controls. and a resolution of differences regarding the TikTok deal. So a lot of very positive news in regards to China and some of the overhangs that have been staying on this market. Second driving factor that we should say, we have a Fed interest rate decision on Wednesday. Again, the street has nearly a 100% expectation that we're going to get our 0.25% cut. Let's see, what other good news did we have today? Chip sector. This is, I should have mentioned this. This is part of the whole trade deal. Besant also indicating that there's going to be basically they're not going to have any type of chip controls anymore, any additional ones than what they have as far as chips going into China. So that gave us a big boost in the chip sector. NVIDIA was a strong performer today, $5.23 gain, 2.81% to 191.49. Qualcomm, they unveiled a new AI 200 and AI 250 accelerator chip. That's meaning they're making a major push into the high performance AI infrastructure market, which of course is dominated by NVIDIA. Thought we'd see a little pullback in NVIDIA when that news broke mid-session today. Didn't happen, but Qualcomm was a star, 11.09% gain, up $18.74 to 187.68. Advanced Micro Devices real briefly dipped below the unchanged line, quickly rebounded after Reuters reported that the company and the U.S. Department of Energy have partnered to build 2 supercomputers. See, folks, everything is technology related now. AMD had a great day, up $6.78, 2.68% gain to 259.70. And Tesla, what do you say? $18.70 gain, 4.31%, 452.42. Tomorrow, shareholders will vote whether Elon Musk is worthy of getting its minimum of a $1 trillion pay package. He has threatened that he just, let's just say, may not be around Tesla if he doesn't get his $1 trillion. The head of the board was on CNBC this morning and made a very strong case that shareholders need to approve his pay package. And what they did, I don't know if you saw that, Dennis, they had a robot, a Tesla robot that was out front of the, I believe it was the NASDAQ stock exchange, this full-blown robot handing out packages of gummy bears. People were just lined up, as you would imagine, many deep, getting their package of gummy bears from the Tesla robot, because this is, of course, what Elon Musk says. We're more than a car company. We're got robots and self-driving and so on and so forth. So all that came together to just give a big boost for Tesla. But that robot was kind of freaky looking. I was like, man.
You know what they say, ask for a raise when everything's going really good.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Well, I forget the exact number that he owns. I think it's somewhere around 15% of Tesla or something like that. And it was almost like when the Chinese threatened to start dumping our bonds when they own the majority of them. It's like, do you really think he would walk away from Tesla when I shouldn't say all, but a good majority of his net worth is tied up in his Tesla stock, because he knows if he walks out the door, there goes the value of Tesla stock and there goes his net worth. So I think right now it's a game of, who's going to call chicken first type of scenario, but I have a feeling they'll probably give it to him. And that, folks, if you are a Tesla shareholder, you can vote. Again, the deadline is tomorrow. All right. And lastly, I want to mention Newmont Mining was under pressure, 5.73%, $4.77 loss to 78.60. The reason for this is gold prices tumbled again today. I'll tell you what those did and where this market finished when we come back. Let's turn it over to Jack Saban. I'm sorry. Let's go to Kristen Snow. First of all, we got to go to the Right Now Traffic Center. That's the biggest priority. How you doing, Kristen? Welcome back to the Jon Sanchez Show on News Talk 780 KOH with my brother, Dr. Dennis Sanchez, the AI doctor. We were just told, looked like we may have had a little bit of audio problem with Dennis during that last break, so we apologize. But hey, you're nice and loud now.
Well, I feel loud, and there's some brilliant things that I shared. I'm a little bit miffed too,
Yeah, everybody missed it. No, I think they got it. Good, glad to have you back. Yeah, I was having heard it. It's like, I can't hear you. Oh, all right. Here's where we finished up. Then we're going to get to Dennis, the risk and the rewards of being an AI solopreneur. 337 gain on the Dow today, 0.71%. Again, a record close for the Dow, the Nasdaq, and the S&P. 47,544 was our finish of the Dow. Nasdaq surged 433 points, 1.86%. S&P up 83 points, or 1.23%. Oil prices down 14 cents, 61.33 a barrel. And as I mentioned, little sell-off in the miners today, again with Newmont, etc. And the reason being, gold prices coming down, $116.80 loss, 4,020.50 an ounce. And because we still don't have any government reports, unchanged on the 10-year Treasury at a yield of 4%. All right, you're now up to date in the market. Let's get to our topic with Dr. Sanchez and get this ball rolling. Once again, he is kind enough to give to the listeners of the Jon Sanchez Show his brand new ebook, the incredible new ebook, which again we're just so very excited to share with everybody. The Rise of the Solopreneur. All you need to do is go to performai.ai, performai.ai, and as he said, there's a drop down for the Jon Sanchez Show, and it's only exclusive for us, folks. And everyone else is going to be paying $12.95. Right? It's going to be exclusive.
They'll pay more.
We appreciate that. All right. And once again, the Rise of the Solopreneur, comprehensive guide for launching and growing a one-person business using AI. It covers the mindset, the tools, and the step-by-step strategies needed to succeed, emphasizing that anyone, and he means anyone, regardless of your background, can become an AI solopreneur. By blending practical advice with emotional resilience and self-motivation, it empowers readers to overcome barriers, leverage technology, and thrive. And Dennis, I love what you said when we were talking about the book, the last break, and that is you do not need a technology background in order to thrive as a solo AIpreneur. You just don't need it.
It may be a little bit funny or odd, but I actually always pushed the technology into the background. That's been, I've been in technology all my life, and that's just a natural thing for me. And I think it's, when you get right down to it, it is about the person. These are just the AI part are just tools, and those tools are going to keep changing too. So we don't have to get really stuck on any one tool.
Right. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Well, you know, what's amazing, Dennis, is just real quick on that point. I have introduced, I use, but you're converting me over to Copilot, but I use Chat GPT, have used it, for the last couple of years. And the people that I told about Chat GPT, especially, a few months after I started using it, were probably the worst technology people. And one of those being Bailey's mom, by the way. and she'll be the first to admit it. And Bailey, how addicted is your mom to Chat GPT today? I mean, she had, yes, that's right.
Are you talking about Cheryl Sanchez, the queen of ChatGPT?
Yes, the queen of ChatGPT. Yep, exactly. This is the woman that has a hard time sometimes just answering her iPhone, but she's got ChatGPT down pat. She really does.
I got it. I lose my phone a lot.
Yeah, right. I'm sure there's an app for that. All right, thanks, Bailey. All right, so let's get down to our topics today, Dennis. So once again, as I said at the beginning of the show, let's kind of start with some really important facts. And that is, of course, nearly 30 million solopreneurs. Those are self-employed, again, with no employees, zero. 30 million generated a whopping $1.7 trillion or 6.8% of the U.S. economy. And this data was in 2022. Imagine what that number is. One of the top states for solopreneurs, California. That's interesting. I think, Dennis, I want to ask you your opinion, but obviously I think because of obviously the heartland of
I think Georgia is better.
Valley. Yeah, exactly. What'd you say?
I think Georgia is better.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course, but sorry, you're not there yet. All right, so a lot of people are getting on the AI solopreneur bandwagon, and again, really starting to significantly contribute to the economy. I think that's absolutely exciting. All right, now, AI is a game changer. All right, so let's go through these facts, Dennis. Generative AI is empowering solopreneurs to build businesses that were previously out of reach. 58% of small businesses now use generative AI, up from 23% in 2023. So, we're talking more than double in 2 years. Mainly they're using it for customer engagement and inventory management. 84%, however, plan to increase their use of technology platforms. So what's your advice? Let's move off the solopreneur side for just a moment. Let's talk about, a regular sized business, big or small, doesn't matter. Again, 84% want to do it. I'm surprised it's not 100% that want to do it. But what's your advice to those businesses that go, how do I do this? I'm leading this company. I've got, 50, 100 employees, whatever the case is. What's the first step there?
Well, the first step is to do it. Right. It's really simple. And there are lots of ways, there are free tools. And then there are, the reason why I love Copilot is because it's all those tools together in one solution. By the time you start buying all those separate ones, it gets harder to use.
What tools are you talking about?
I'm talking, for example, even comparing. Let's see. Let me give you an example. Perplexity, great program, very similar to Researcher and Copilot. It's the same. It's the same kind of
So an
solution.
in-depth AI is what researcher
Yes,
is.
yeah.
And
But
perplexity.
there are lots of tools. There are tools for creation. There's all kinds of tools. But if you can find, as we were talking about finding, for example, financial planning tools all together in a suite so they work together, that's always the easier and usually
Mm-hmm.
less expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the bottom line is it's easy for people to get started. But with small business owners, you're it's really tough. I mean, it has to work. They have to get
Mm-hmm.
their ROI out of it. So they
Yes.
have to make the right choice, but they just have to get into it. The longer they wait, they're going to get left behind. And this is how they level the playing field with technology. They can move faster.
Mm-hmm.
They can change faster. Take advantage of that.
And I don't like the term leveling the playing field. I want to exceed my
Oh,
competition,
wow.
right? So,
Oh, okay.
based upon this data, the reason I'm saying that kind of a smart aleck response here is, again, I was surprised with this data that there's still a lot of businesses that are not using AI. So, if I'm in a marketplace, let's say I'm a realtor, for example, or a doctor, or chiropractor, a dentist. I mean, some of these smaller businesses that are very profitable, but yet, they're constrained, right? It's hard finding qualified people and so on and so forth. I would be all over this. If I was a doctor and I was
Mm-hmm.
running a medical practice and, let's say I had 10, 15 employees and I want to boost my revenue, I need more patients. My gosh, what AI can do is mind boggling. Probably worth what, 5 employees, as
Mm-hmm.
far as productivity.
It's the challenge of the small business owner, and it would be the same thing with a solopreneur, is that where do you get your information that you can trust? Yeah, honestly, I'll give you an example. Microsoft, wonderful. Their market focus on the enterprise. There's a little bit with small business, but
Mm-hmm.
they usually hand it over to the partners.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be the case with all the big companies. A little bit of information for that group, so it's tough for them to find the information.
Mm-hmm.
And get that level of support so they can make the
Mm-hmm.
right decisions.
Right. Love it. All right, we're going to come back with 2 more points: the how AI levels the playing field and the risks and the
Mm-hmm.
challenges. Then we're going to get into a little Q&A with each other. I think you're going to get a good kick out of this. We'll kind of talk about our personal lives and businesses and how we use AI. And again, maybe you can pick up a nugget or two, as the saying goes. Let's turn it over to Jack Saban first of all. He's got news, traffic, and weather. Hey, Jack. Welcome back to the Jon Sanchez Show on News Talk 780 KOH with Dr. Dennis Sanchez, the AI doctor. Our marketing director at Bailey Sanchez joining us for this next segment. Once again, a record-setting day for the Dow, the NASDAQ, and the S&P 500. A 337 gain on the Dow, 432 rise on the NASDAQ, and higher by 83 on the S&P. The risks and the rewards of being an AI solopreneur. All right. Now, once again, we talk a lot about all of the rewards, right? It's so easy to start. Literally, you could start a business in a matter of a couple hours, so on and so forth. But if you don't know where to start, that's why you need to take advantage of this great offer that my brother, has created with his brand new ebook, a $12.95 value, but free for the listeners of the Jon Sanchez Show until the show's over. What do? It's The Rise of the Solopreneurs, the title. Very simple. You go to performai.ai and log in right there. And it'll ask, where'd you hear about it? And you'll choose the Jon Sanchez Show, and he'll send you that link that right on over for that book. You don't want to miss it, folks. It is chocked full of great information to get you started in your solopreneur journey. Again, it's called The Rise of the Solopreneur by Dr. Dennis Sanchez. All right, folks, we could go, all day talking about the benefits of solo AI solopreneur, but like in anything, there's always risk to something. And so I want to kind of devote the rest of the show to the other side of the equation. Let's have a balanced discussion on this. So the first one that comes to mind, guys, is this: tech can grow faster than you can. Now, Bailey, you are as deep into AI as anybody that I know. I'm going to let you handle this first one. That tech grows faster than you can. How do you handle that as an entrepreneur?
Yeah, I mean, you really have to be on top of checking out the new technology that's always coming out. I know even for me, as we start to implement Microsoft's Copilot into our workflows and everything, that's even been hard for me to learn. Luckily, Dennis has been awesome about teaching us about that. But when you think you have it all figured out, you don't, because there's always a new set of technology coming. So it can be overwhelming at times. And so it's almost like your daily task list. You add in learning about what new features are coming out every day.
And I want to back up this one set, guys, before I go to the next one. And let's kind of bring our personal lives or businesses into this. So I'm going to say this proudly. I stole Dennis away from his last company. Made him an offer he couldn't refuse. I said, I need you in my business, or Jason and I need you in our business. So Dennis, works for us. I won't say exclusively, because obviously we're all entrepreneurs. We all have other things we do and stuff. But Dennis is a full-time independent contractor for Sanchez Capital Management. Why? Because I see this. Jason sees this. This is the future, folks. And I would be foolish and I'd be embarrassed to sit here and say, hey, get AI in your business if we weren't doing it. Our business is very, very different than probably 99% of you. Why? Because we have this thing called compliance, the Security and Exchange Commission, the SEC. We have to be very, very careful of how we implement it versus non-regulated type of businesses. Dennis has even gone so far, Dennis has even gone so far that he has brought in one of his former coworkers, who's just a computer genius, that has delved deep into our system to look at things and how AI is used from a security standpoint and confidentiality, et cetera, in a brokerage firm. So we are using it. We are just scratching the surface. Thanks to Dennis. He's just concluding all of the training of our employees, right? Because you have to learn how to do it, learn what you can and you can't do with it, at least in our business. And so we are going to be implementing it. And Bailey, I'll let you kind of describe the different ways that we are going to be utilizing it in Sanchez Capital Management, because I am so excited about it.
Yeah, I mean,
And Dennis chime in too.
other than our workflows that we can make go a little bit quicker, not spend so much time
Open it,
prepping.
so on and so forth.
Exactly. Other than that, it's really going to streamline our marketing as well, help us create a better client outreach program so we can really tailor everything we do to a better client experience as well. So I don't want to give away too much of what we're doing as we're still implementing, but AI can be used in so many realms of your business other than just creating a social media post or a business plan. It can really make a better experience for your clients. And even though that doesn't directly make you money right on the front end, it's something that your clients remember and they see you're going the extra mile to make things easier for them throughout their lifespan with you as a client.
And Dennis?
Well, I'll tell you what attracted me to work with you and your team was your vision. And there are really two parts of it. One was, how can we do even better with our customer experience? And there's so many places where workflows and things intersect with the customer. We know stuff is good out there, but how do we maintain that, sustain that? So customer experience was good. And then you've always thought big. You've thought about doing this type of work in other places and different models and expanding. This is the result of AI. It makes you start thinking 10x instead of let's just do this, on this level. Hey, we can do it with a lot of people. We can scale with the same set of tools. That's the difference.
Yeah. It's like Bailey said, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag too much, but just watch us in the next few months and over the next year as far as new ideas. Not only, of course, most importantly for our clients, right? I mean, they are number one. They're why we exist. But here on the show, the different things that Bailey and I and Dennis are working on. Well, Bailey, I mean, let's let the cat out of the bag on this one. Do real quickly here. Well, might as well. I mean, again, it's important that people know we walk the walk.
Yeah.
Bailey, describe how you're using AI right now for the Jon Sanchez Show and so on and so forth, because it's what you put together with AI is enabled us to get the show out to so many people
Yeah, so
around the
we are
world.
actually broadcasting on a platform right now called Riverside. KOH radio station is tying in and taking our live feed. And we are also recording video as well on Riverside. As soon as the show is done and I stop recording, I press one button. It's called Create a Magic Episode. Within about 5 minutes, my episode has already taken out all of the the filler words, the weird pauses, everything of that sort. So I have our 35-minute episode edited in about another 5 minutes. And then I'm able to directly shoot that out to YouTube, Spotify, Apple, etc. And then I create social media clips as well. If you haven't seen on the Jon Sanchez Show Instagram and Sanchez Gaunt Instagram, I can actually click one button as well, create magic clips, and it will take 30 to 45-second clips of our entire episode of things that it thinks it's important, and it's usually on point, and I can create social media clips out of that as well. So my entire workflow of marketing that I take from recording this show daily is done in about 30 minutes max.
What would have taken you? Let's just say we were recording on, let's say, Zoom or
Mhm.
something similar, and you're like, okay, Dad, I want to get your show on YouTube. I want to get it to social media. I want to get it to all these places you just mentioned that you're able to do within 30 minutes. How
Yeah.
long would it have taken you to do that?
I used to have to do that on my own, even for other businesses, and that would be a full day task between all the social media channels and YouTube and editing out and rewatching the episode multiple times. So it's a very handy tool to have in this platform. Not that we're sponsored or anything by them, but I highly recommend using Riverside. It's a great platform, and they're always updating with new technology.
Absolutely.
We can even
Absolutely.
actually take any of our episodes and put it in another language too if we wanted
Yes.
to. So another market we can start playing with.
Bueno, bueno. I can't wait to hear it in Spanish and
Yeah.
some other languages when you get to that point.
Yeah.
That's exciting. So there it is. Again, guys, for a small subscription fee of what we pay for Riverside, once again, Bailey's able to take this show and make me sound good without any ahs, and all the screw ups that I normally do on this show. Get rid of all that through AI. It's doing that. It's doing it as we speak right now. The show is saved up in the cloud, by the way, and then she's able to again make it from an audio recording. So Dennis, that eliminates an audio engineer, right? That's a however many, $80,000-$100,000 a year job for that person, and then a videographer, it eliminates that person, social media person, on and on and on.
Yeah.
I mean, it probably saves us, I don't know, $250,000-$300,000 a year in payroll that we don't have to have, and we can do it so much faster than any human being can. That's how we're using AI. But again, we're just, like you said earlier, Dennis, we're just scratching the surface of the different things that we're going to be utilizing it for going forward. So that's great, Bailey. Thank you so much for enlightening us on that. All right. So what are the risks to it? Well, let's squeeze one in real quickly. Loneliness and burnout creep in.
You know what we say, even though you're a solopreneur.
See, AI is going to take that screw up out.
No matter what I say, you made me lose that. Shoot, okay, yeah. You don't have to be alone, and
No,
just because you're working alone, it's easier to connect with. There's a lot of people out there in your community that are interested in what you're doing, interested in sharing what they're learning. That's what's so unique about this technology. It's actually forcing us to be more human.
It is,
and that's the whole plan. But
well, let me throw this in real quick before we go to break. If you're tired of the people in your office, right? Imagine being able to sit at home or on your boat or in your RV or wherever you want to be. You have your business running, you're making money, hopefully, and you got this network of other solopreneurs, maybe in the same business, maybe in different networking groups around the country. You're not talking to the same people every day at the water cooler or at the coffee pot. These are all brand new people that energize you and give you ideas. I mean, that's what I love about it, right? It's like, sky's the limit as far as the number of people, and you hit it right on the head. I love talking to other entrepreneurs, Dennis, about what we're doing, and it's so exciting. Where you can only talk to your office people so much, right? It's the same people over and over again. It's just again.
Especially with your family, you've known them for
a lot of Z's on this broadcast right now. So, all right, let's turn it over to Kristen Snow right now, Traffic Center, and we'll come back. Hey, Kristen, welcome back to the Jon Sanchez Show on News Talk 780 KOH with my brother, Dr. Dennis Sanchez, the AI doctor, and Bailey Sanchez, Director of Marketing. Sanchez got joining us. Once again, I want to give everybody a quick reminder. You only have a few minutes left here. The Rise of the Solopreneur, Dr. Sanchez's great new ebook at $12.95 value. He's giving it for free today only. To listeners of the Jon Sanchez Show, just go to performai.ai. That's performai and request your free copy, and he'll get it right on over to you. Okay, guys. So once again, we're running very quickly out of time here. Here's what I want to do. We're just getting into the risk of the solopreneur. Here's what I want to do. We got time for about one more. So what I want to do, guys, is let's create a special podcast. We're going to jump into a new studio. Speaking of which, we're going to jump into a new studio after the show, and I want to get these 10 out there. So Bailey, where are you going to post it once we have it? You're going to get it on YouTube and all the normal stuff?
Absolutely. Yep. We will have it posted under the Jon Sanchez Show on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple.
Can you throw it on over to podcastersofamerica.com also?
Absolutely. Okay. Yep. Podcastofamerica.com. We also have our own YouTube channel on there, Spotify and Apple as well. So you can catch it on both.
All right. So let's go back to this loneliness and burnout creep, this second risk of it. I take a little bit of heed with it, but I don't. So let me tell you, as an entrepreneur my whole life, how this comes into play. Myself, I love the loneliness and the burnout creep because I am a self-motivated person. It does not affect me.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is one of the things a person needs to go through, right, Bailey? Like I've taught you getting into business.
Yeah.
You have to have a passion. Number one, no matter what you do, I don't care if it's solo or whatever you do, you got to have a passion for it. If you don't, you will never survive, in my opinion, right? Because you're going to go through tough times. And if you have that passion, don't let money be the number one motivator. Worst thing in the world you can do. Find something. You want to change the world. You want to make people's lives better. You got a new product, a new service. Those are the driving factors to a passion. Then when you have that, loneliness, burnout, creep, and all that stuff really doesn't come in. I mean, do I get burnout? Sometimes by Friday afternoon. Yeah, after putting in a 70-hour week, I'm a little tired. But I'll tell you what time, Dennis and I, well, even Bailey, we all rise very early in the Sanchez family, and Dennis is back in Georgia, so he's got the 3-hour time difference. But there's many Saturdays, folks, and even sometimes on Sundays where the three of us are chatting, calling, texting, or whatever. But Bailey, you and I chat all the time at 6:00 our time, and
Yep.
Dennis, you're right there. So because we love what we do, so.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be careful about it. There's no doubt, as you're a human being, but that's where you get into, and we'll do that on another topic. The work-life balance, something that I have stunk at my whole life up until a couple of years ago. So I can really tell you, what not to do and what to do. Bailey said,
Yep.
"You need to shake your head so much, Bailey." My
That's
goodness.
fine.
You really are looking forward to that podcast.
I sure am.
But anyways, Dennis, anything else you want to add on that side of it? I think it's a personal thing, and it can be alleviated, but you got to be careful.
Well, it's a danger, but you just absolutely hit on exactly where I'm really spending most of my time at work. Like I said, the technology is great. The technology is going to change tomorrow. It's probably changed while we are on the air.
Sure.
Where I feel I can bring the most and help people, and this is really where I'm committed, is the other side, the right stuff inside, the right mindset, can you learn how to have a growth mindset? Yeah. Can you learn how to develop grit and perseverance and all those things? Yes, you can.
Right.
And I actually think that's more important overall for success than anything else.
Yeah. It all starts mental, and
yeah,
that's what your thesis is on. So I love that. All right, folks, give us about an hour. You'll be able to go to podcastersofamerica.com. We'll have the 10 big risk of the solo AI solopreneur. Get Dennis's book. Great job, guys. We'll do it again tomorrow on the Jon Sanchez Show. God bless. Have a great afternoon.
Thanks.